1. Which of the following best describes the role of formative assessment in adult learning? A. It evaluates the learner's final performance. B. It focuses on grading the learner's results. C. It helps in identifying learning gaps during the learning process. D. It is conducted after the learning process to certify competency. 2. In the context of adult learning, which theory emphasizes the importance of learners' self-concept, experience, and readiness to learn? A. Constructivist theory. B. Behaviorist theory. C. Humanist theory. 3. What is the primary purpose of an evaluation method in curriculum development? A. To assess the final performance of learners. B. To ensure the curriculum is implemented correctly. C. To measure the effectiveness of the learning materials. D. To determine if the learning environment is suitable. 4. In mentoring, what is the main role of a mentor in the learning process? A. To give answers to all of the mentee's questions. To provide guidance and feedback while promoting independent thinking. C. To monitor the mentee's progress and report to the employer. D. To evaluate the mentee's final project. 5. Which of the following is a key principle of adult learning according to Knowles' andragogy model? A. Adults learn best through passive observation. B. Adults are motivated by extrinsic rewards only. C. Adults need to know why they need to learn something before learning it. D. Adults prefer to learn through theoretical knowledge. 6. Which of the following best describes the concept of scaffolding in adult education? A. Providing students with the final answer immediately. B. Offering step-by-step guidance that helps learners reach their potential. C. Leaving students to figure things out on their own. D. Using technology to completely replace face-to-face interaction. 7. Which method is most appropriate for assessing the ongoing learning progress of adult learners? A. Standardized tests. B. Pre- and post-assessments. C. Summative assessments. D. Formative assessments. 8. What is the purpose of differentiated instruction in the context of adult learning? A. To provide the same content to all learners in the same way. B. To adjust teaching methods to meet diverse learning styles and needs. C. To ensure that learners achieve the same outcome regardless of their background. D. To focus on one learning style and ignore others. 9. In evaluating adult learners, which type of assessment focuses on the application of knowledge to real-world scenarios? A. Formative assessment. B. Authentic assessment. C. Summative assessment. D. Norm-referenced assessment. 10. When developing a curriculum for adult learners, which of the following factors should be considered? A. Only the interests of the instructor. B. The cultural and demographic background of the learners. C. The financial capacity of the learners. D. The speed at which students can complete assignments. 11. Which of the following is an example of a reflective practice used in adult education? A. Taking multiple choice tests at the end of a course. B. Writing an essay after every class to reflect on the learning. C. Memorizing course content. D. Completing standardized worksheets. 12. How can an educator assess a learner's competency in a practical skill? A. By observing the learner's ability to apply the skill in real-life situations. B. By testing the learner's recall of theoretical knowledge. C. By having the learner write an essay about the skill. D. By evaluating the learner's self-assessment. 13. Which strategy helps adult learners develop critical thinking skills? A. Providing them with step-by-step instructions to follow. B. Encouraging them to question and analyze information. C. Asking them to memorize and recall facts. D. Limiting opportunities for self-reflection. 14. In adult learning, what is the most effective approach to creating a supportive learning environment? A. Rigid structure and no flexibility. B. A collaborative atmosphere that encourages communication and respect. C. A completely silent and isolated setting. D. Focusing solely on one-to-one instruction. 15. What is one of the key differences between adult learners and younger learners in terms of motivation? A. Adult learners are typically more extrinsically motivated. B. Adult learners prefer passive learning. C. Adult learners are often motivated by intrinsic factors such as personal growth. D. Adult learners are less likely to participate in learning activities. 16. Which of the following is an example of a summative assessment? A. A quiz taken after every lesson to monitor progress. B. A final exam at the end of a course. C. Regular group discussions to evaluate learning. D. Daily journal entries. 17. Which of the following is a primary challenge when developing learning materials for adult education? A. Ensuring all materials are designed for high school students. B. Addressing diverse learning needs, backgrounds, and experiences. C. Focusing only on theory and eliminating practical exercises. D. Limiting the use of technology in the classroom. 18. Which of the following strategies is best suited for ensuring active participation in an adult learning environment? A. Lecture-based teaching. B. Group discussions and interactive activities. C. Strict instructor-led instructions with no student input. D. One-way communication from instructor to learner. 19. How does regulatory compliance affect adult learning programs? A. It ensures that learning programs are aligned with industry standards and legal requirements. B. It focuses only on the financial aspects of the learning program. C. It allows instructors to ignore learner performance. D. It limits the variety of learning methods available. 20. What is the key advantage of peer mentoring in adult education? A. It provides learners with a non-expert point of view. B. It helps mentees avoid any difficulties in the learning process. C. It allows learners to share experiences and support each other's growth. D. It isolates learners from the instructor. 21. In adult learning, which method is most effective for improving long-term retention? A. Passive listening to lectures. B. Repeated practice and review of learned material. C. Memorization of facts without application. D. Relying solely on tests for assessment. 22. Which of the following is an example of an effective communication strategy in adult learning? A. Using jargon and technical terms to sound authoritative. B. Ensuring clear, simple language that is accessible to all learners. C. Focusing only on visual aids without any verbal explanation. D. Ignoring feedback from learners during the course. 23. What is the role of self-directed learning in adult education? A. It places all responsibility on the instructor for student learning. B. It encourages learners to take control of their own learning process. C. It focuses only on memorization of facts. D. It eliminates the need for evaluations or assessments. 24. Which of the following best describes the concept of learner-centered teaching in adult education? A. The instructor is the focus of all activities and assessments. B. The instructor facilitates learning based on the needs and interests of the learners. C. The learners have no influence over the content of the course. D. The learners follow a fixed curriculum without modifications. 25. How does adult learning theory impact the design of assessments? A. It encourages designing assessments that are purely theoretical. B. It suggests assessments should be based on real-life tasks and problems. C. It advocates for assessments that focus only on memorization. D. It minimizes the need for assessments in adult education. 26. Which method is most effective in promoting collaboration in adult education? A. Competitive exams. B. Group projects and discussions. C. Individual tasks with no interaction. D. Instructor-led lectures. 27. How does adult learning theory suggest handling failure in education? A. By avoiding failure at all costs. B. By using failure as a learning opportunity to grow. C. By punishing learners who fail. D. By ignoring failures and focusing on success only. 28. Which of the following is a critical aspect of evaluating the effectiveness of adult education programs? A. The amount of content covered in the program. B. The number of certifications awarded to learners. C. The ability of the program to meet the learner's goals and needs. D. The popularity of the program among learners. 29. What is the purpose of using feedback in adult learning? A. To punish learners who perform poorly. B. To provide learners with an opportunity for self-assessment. C. To solely improve the instructor's performance. D. To guide learners in improving their skills and knowledge. 30. Which of the following is an example of active learning in adult education? A. Reading from textbooks without any application. B. Engaging in problem-solving activities or case studies. C. Listening to a guest speaker without interaction. D. Taking written notes during lectures. 31. Which of the following is an essential characteristic of a mentor in adult education? A. The mentor must be an expert in all areas of learning. B. The mentor should act as a guide and role model for the mentee. C. The mentor should be a passive observer of the learning process. D. The mentor should only focus on grading and evaluating the mentee.